Review Walt Disney vs. Shigeru Miyamoto. Walt Disney vs. Shigeru Miyamoto ERBP review. You should review Walt Disney vs. Shigeru Miyamoto by ERBP Parodies.
Join them, Walt Disney
Like
vs.
everyone
Shigeru
says,
Miyamoto.
make Walt Disney vs. Shigeru Miyamoto.
You probably gotten this
ERBP
request a
reboot.
million
times, but I would love to
Walt
see a review
Disney
on Walt
versus
Disney
Shigeru
versus
Miyamoto by
Shigeru
Epic Rap Battle Parodies.
Like everyone says, make Walt Disney vs. Shigeru Miyamoto.
Well, shit. That's what I get for opening my mouth, huh? Oh well, a promise is a promise, and I did say that whatever was the most requested battle will be chosen. So, let's finally get into the long-awaited Epic Rap Battle Parodies Reboot premiere. At long last, the day has finally come and ERBP has officially released their first ever battle after 5 long years, with the battle being Walt Disney vs. Shigeru Miyamoto. To be honest, I was expecting this reboot series to never go through, especially when it has been in the talks for so long and yet had nothing to show that it was making progress. I mean, when you have a series that has been dormant for half a decade, it's hard to think that anything new would come out of it, even with the promises the creator makes to the audience. But here we are. I swear it feels like I'm in 2014 all over again. So, let's finally sit down and see what they have in store for us with this brand new series. Or would it be brand new old series, or brand new redone series, or old brand new series, or whatever, roll it. I'm digging the new logo so far, even if I think you could have used better fonts than what are presented here, but I like where this is going so far.
Shigeru Miyamoto!
Okay, here's the thing. I like the costume, but is it just me, or is that wig too big for his head? I swear it makes his head much bigger than it actually is on his body. Or wait, is that supposed to be a wig, or is that his real hair? Well, he's no Zach Sherwin, I'll tell you that, but his costume is pretty well done as well, except for maybe that shoddy looking mustache. But there's a big problem with Skitsy's video here. And I can explain this with just one single video filter. Where's that camera focusing on? Cause it's sure as hell not him. Yeah, unfortunately Skitsy's video was out of focus for the entire battle, which makes the blurs on his edges that much more noticeable, especially when watching it in 1080p. And don't try and tell me the out of focus shots match the old vintage film style, cause it doesn't.
All aboard, it's the man who needs no fairy dust to sprinkle.
I don't like that background. I see that you got a cell shade going on with the boats, the docks, the water, and Walt Disney himself, which is fine, but then you have these trees and hills that are not affected in any way, nor are they in the correct perspective, as the bottom of the island here seems to be submerged in the water without the two overlapping each other. I will say that boat looks pretty neat though, but I think it would have been cooler if you had those two chimneys be in sync with the beat.
All aboard, it's the man who needs no fairy dust to sprinkle. Cause he's always flanked a bit, and nerds addicted to pachinko.
Why have Nintendo Pachinkos when you could just play Luigi Poker on your DS?
But you took a different game of chance and gambled to diss me. You really came to dance, please.
Walt, I don't think your right hand is on any of those handles. Unless you're that hardcore and you're pushing that with your knuckles.
You can't walk through Disney.
Give birth to animation, while your sense of innovation's just some gimmicks that would trickle to Xbox and PlayStation.
They do seem like the type of company that pushes for portable consoles than stationary ones, but that's what makes them unique, cause they think of very ambitious ideas on how to play their consoles that Xbox and PlayStation will want to replicate that success with their own properties. And then proceed to fuck those up.
But of course, your first creation surely took imagination, just not yours is what I'm saying. Tell me whose Link's inspiration.
Out of all the people I expected Link to have taken inspiration of,
Peter Pan is the last person I would ever think of. I would have thought of, shit, Lord of the Rings if you were to ask me.
I made dreams into scenes. You're lucky to be a boss, taking naps while your dad slipped your way to the top.
Oh man, I really hope there is no piranha plant inside that pipe.
Now you're falling in the hole of Illumination's hurdles.
Look, we can bitch about Illumination all we want, but let's be real here. Do we honestly think they'll mess it up more than what we got in 1993?
You'd be lucky if you stole the show like Universal.
We thought that uncancelled, I'm surprised he didn't choke. But that's we visitors, cause it's time to get it smooth.
Oh man, I am really not into that voice. Now, my problem isn't that it's a bad accent, it's actually pretty well done. My problem is, it's a really thick accent he has on. And I know that's how Miyamoto speaks in real life, but like I said with every battle that has a hard to understand voice, when you're listening to just the audio of the battle with no subtitles, it's near impossible to figure out what they're saying, and it's even worse when the voices start to overlap each other.
But that's we visitors, cause it's time to get it smooth. That's a good.
Is that the same shirt he was wearing at the beginning? No, it isn't, and get used to it, cause it's gonna swap around a lot. I don't know if Gion had to do reshoots and didn't have access to his other shirt, or if they wanted to do some evolution style like Mario does with his power-ups, but regardless, it's distracting. Or, I guess you could say he likes to switch it up, eh? I am not sorry. Okay. I don't know if it was Jay, Walk, or Cannell that thought that line up, but that was genius. Did you actually take the time to model those 1-ups and have them perfectly blended to the scenery as if he was actually holding a box of 1-ups? Props to whoever did that. Man, Disney, I was with you when you decided to change things up a bit with your Mulan film, but then I forgot it's Disney we're talking about. Taking risks to them is considered sacrilege. Well, technically the Gamecom did that first, but you've done it better. It was a dark time back then.
Even cause you missed that, the US game over. You only had that business cause you didn't like us.
You're incompetent. Drop the console wars, no confident.
I don't think I'm sitting on this well. I seem to be hovering in front of it. I may have snorted too much fairy dust.
You're incompetent. Drop the console wars, no confident.
I wouldn't hold my breath on that. Something's gonna come up in the future and you're gonna see Console War Part 2. And nobody wants that.
It's unstoppable. Our bombs are still the top of the box office.
To quote Mortal Kombat 11.
Your movies suck, Cage.
I'm the highest grossing movie star ever.
Doesn't mean they're any good.
And those baseless racist claims are nothing but some rumors. But if we're talking hatred, well then all your fans are tumors.
That has to be the weakest comeback I have ever heard from you.
A bunch of smelly losers stirring up some Reddit strife.
And now he's resorting to childlike behavior. At least he's on point with his brand.
Plus it'd only take a peach to bring their magic broom to life.
Spit into the kids, I'd be calling you a liar. Cause you're doing child doctors even worse than Dan Snyder.
Why'd you have to go and remind me of that guy?
You'll be seeing stars like Fox, but there's one you'll never own. So getting on your knees and getting up ease some motion control.
Ugh. I don't want you to ever say that while making that face again.
In your country, they don't even recognize you when they see you. While I've been a global legend since you suckled Mamma Mia.
Can I unhear that somehow?
You'd scare your company, pretend that you're the holy god. So obsessed with your games, you treat your workers like Pokemon.
Developer, use code! Code! QA, use debug! Debug! Div 2, use crunch! So tired. I just wanna go home. Ugh. You're useless.
Begin to sweep it over, guess a blue on the cars first.
But having a lot of people prove that doesn't actually work.
But you never gave me credit, guess I am the better artist. But I be known for saving gamers crash and burn.
There was no fire where you threw that bucket. So, congrats, you just soaked the entire stage. Or someone.
You'll be known for making monsters like Beast and John Lasseter. You only get to labor, rich by living favors. I've been facing with creative factions, I've been flipping tables. Got a mass of your ski, cause you couldn't serve a mic. But I'm pretty sure that Disney must be used to getting iced.
Would that be considered a sick burn, or a cold burn, or an icy hot?
Well, whatever the case may be, we are finally done with ERBP's rebooted premiere.
I wouldn't say this is the grand return of the ERBP series that I expected it to be, but I think this was pretty good. You could definitely tell that compared to the old battles versus this one, that there has been a larger shift in video making down to the visuals, the editing, the background, and the writing. Across the board, the costumes are well done, with the exception of Miyamoto's odd shirt swapping with every cut in his verse, and Skitty's video being too out of focus to really see the details he had put into his outfit. The audio is okay, but Disney's voice seems to stay on one tone throughout the whole thing, and of course Miyamoto's accent is just way too thick to understand what he's saying the majority of the time. I like the editing, but I feel like it tends to be a bit too basic on a few parts, like the camera work is kind of average, and the visuals get a bit wonky, like Walt sitting on this well, and the backgrounds vary in quality as it goes on, which I'm sure was because multiple people were working on different backgrounds, but still. The lyrics were pretty good. I like the little taking shots at Dan Snyder and John Lasseter, the live-action Disney film line Miyamoto makes, but that Wiimote line, along with Walt's childish insult to Miyamoto's fans, I would have done without. They just seem unnecessary. So yeah, while I do think they could have started this series off with a much more grand bang than what we got, I believe that this will satisfy all the longtime fans who have been begging for another entry in the ERBP series. And let's hope they don't abandon this plan anytime soon in the future. My overall rating for this battle is an 8 out of 10.
Now, let me just say, I cannot promise you guys that I will look at all of their new stuff in the future. Someday I'll see a battle of theirs that I think is worthy enough to do a review on, and other days they just won't give me much to work with, and I hope you all can understand that. Next time is a battle between two cartoon rap battle creators. Thank you guys for watching, and instead of walking out of the shot like I usually do with these outros, I will magically turn my camera off with just a simple switch. Goodbye. Fuckers.
Hey, Stinky!